Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to testify. My name is B. Moorhead, and I'm the director of Texas Impact. Texas Impact is a statewide interfaith network that provides a voice of religious social concern to the Texas legislature. This proposal to study and plan for climate change adaptation is very close to the hearts of faith communities because we, as much as any other group, already understand the potential implications of climate change for the existing programs and services of units of government, but also of entities in the private and nonprofit sectors. The core ministries of faith communities in Texas and other parts of the country include many points of contact with populations and issues that are likely to be impacted by climate change. For instance, food ministries, refugee resettlement, and of course disaster relief and recovery. These potentially climate-related areas of ministry are also areas of coordination and cooperation with government. In local communities throughout Texas, state agencies depend on the availability of faith-based networks as vital participants in service delivery and rapid response networks. Because faith communities are already involved in ministries that will be impacted by climate change, denominations and other religious bodies are already studying and planning for climate change adaptation, as this bill is suggesting that the state of Texas do. Recently, the National Council of Churches released a report, this report that you have, that I've passed out, how global climate change will impact core church ministries, that has gone through essentially the same process as in this bill, especially part numbers 2, 3, and 4, reviewing existing programs in the context of anticipated climate change. Number 3, specific steps necessary for the entity to fulfill its mission during the anticipated climate change. And number 4, especially, an analysis of the effect implementing the steps identified would have on the entity's budget. So this report it represents the first set of estimates about fiscal impacts of climate change to large-scale ministries like Church World Service. And for example, in the area of refugee resettlement, it says, in order to maintain their current level of assistance as global climate change increases the number of refugees, faith-based organizations and churches will need to dramatically increase their support to help refugees coming to the United States. For instance, to maintain the same percentage level of support for refugees coming to the U.S., Church World Service and Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services will have to support an additional 82,989 refugees each year, costing an estimated $278.4 million, which is 6 times the current budget of Church World Service and Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services. So with these kinds of significant new demands and expected fiscal implications, it's only prudent for faith communities to begin now to estimate how climate change will impact core ministries in the future. And we're just suggesting it's likewise prudent for the state to engage in study and planning around the likely future demands and costs that climate change will imply for public programs and services. As private entities that interact closely with government in many areas of social and other services, Texas faith communities really hope that state agencies will engage in coordinated planning, because we expect to be called on in the future to help address the needs and crises that will arise as climate change becomes increasingly manifest here in Texas and throughout the world. Finally, as entities already engaged in climate change adaptation planning, Texas faith communities offer whatever assistance or insights we might be able to offer to the state as it undertakes this process. Thank you. I'm happy to answer questions.